such fun on here. Anyone is welcome to come into the book club. We currently are reading and discussing Walking with My Angels. Thank you, Christine. I don't have my book. Mine is on a Kindle, which I left over there even. Walking with My Angels by Keith Leon S. Keith came on with us last week. Thank you, Jean. Keith was here last week to share with us about his wonderful book. And then he will not be here today, but next week he's coming back with us. And there's a question at the end of the book that he wants us to be able to answer next week when he does come on. So that will be our discussion for next week, is finishing up this book and really sharing what we all got from it. And that's what we're going to do today, is wherever you're at in the book, where we're going to be at different places, but wherever you are, just share what this book has meant to you or is bringing forward for you. And hi, Kathy. Our book club members that are live here with us today are Mary Lou from Massachusetts, Suzanne from Pennsylvania, Christina from Michigan, Jean Lorio in Texas, and Kathy in Maryland. And we have Hope over in the UK who's watching with us. So welcome everyone. Yes, I love when Hope comes in, such beautiful energy and so supportive of everything here at Enlightened World Network. So ladies, I know we're missing a few that are normally here that had things going on today, but let's go ahead and discuss where this book is taking us. I have to share, if I can, for a moment. I had a message from Stacy. I think she posted it even in the group, that she was listening to this book on Audible. And she got home and saw there was a package at the door. So she had turned the Audible off and got the package, and it was the physical book. And she said when she opened up the package and she opened the book, it went immediately to the place she had left off listening to it on Audible. So do you think there were angels at play there?
That's great.
Very likely.
That's so cool.
Isn't that a great story? And that's the way
That
this
is
book
great.
is. I know, it's so full of wonderful stories about how the angels just show us these confirmations, and they're always there. They're always bringing things forward. We just have to open our eyes and look at it, right? So let's open up the discussion. Who would like to share what this book is bringing forward to you? What is it giving you as part of reading the book?
I think it's just reinforcing the idea that the angels really, I knew they existed, but it is possible for us to somehow connect with them a little bit deeper than we really anticipated we could.
I agree with that, Kathy. For me, it's
Cookies.
awesome. You're multitasking. For me, it's been a lot of hindsight is 2020 kind of stuff. His stories kind of lead me to my own life experiences where even though I may feel connected with angels, I may have missed that there were a few times that they were there with me. I also have to say, I'm a little jealous of this earth angel he had.
Yes.
I have not had quite that personal of an experience, I guess, like that. Because, I consider some people to be earth angels in a kind of different way than what was brought forth here. So that's really, I was a little jealous about that, just a bit.
That's okay. Thank you for being honest.
And along the same lines of, I often wondered, maybe they tried to communicate with me when I was younger, but, being young, you're just like, well, whatever. But when I would get sick when I was little, probably either preteen, I would say preteen, instead of going upstairs to my bedroom, my mom used to let me lay down on the living room couch. And if I was running a fever, I would swear I was hearing voices in the background. And I often wonder now, especially, was that just because of the fever? Or maybe were they trying to calm me down or say that it's going to be okay? You know, I wish I knew. It could have been just, hallucinating with fever,
But you probably can still them them now,
I
you
could.
know.
That's a good
They'll
good
probably
question to
still
ask
tell
them.
you. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, this is like opening a box of chocolates for me, the possibilities. I'm so excited, especially the second part with all the stories. I was so excited. And then it does make you think, like it makes me think back of my younger years. I must have had guardian angels all over. I did so many things as a teenager. I mean, I literally walked into a foreign country. I'm from Germany. You could cross the border into France. I could have disappeared with my little child passport. They let me cross into the country, the border guards. If something would have happened there, nobody would have ever known. But you do stuff you don't think. I hitchhiked. I did everything that I possibly could to get myself in danger, and not wantingly, but just being not thinking, and never anything happened to me. So I think that thinking about that, I had a lot of guardian angels throughout my whole life watching out for me. And so just sort of realizing like, oh, maybe there was more than I ever thought. And the other thing too, like what he writes in the book, just with the manifesting and everything, is like, oh, so cool. I really have to get better with this, that I want to manifest it with my faith. So that's what I'm going to practice now. Really, I'm focusing on this positivity and thinking, yeah, I can, it can absolutely happen. So I'm really, really, really excited about this.
I found the book also very affirming and thought-provoking, as far in the same way that all of you are saying, the angels have been with us and maybe we didn't acknowledge that and express that in our day-to-day living as much as we could have and should have, every year, I don't know who introduced it to me, but every year when my daughters were children, they're grown up now, but when they were children, I always read The Littlest Angel story at this time of the year to them. That one with the littlest angel who gave the love back to God, and that was the most precious gift. And when I was younger and learned to play the guitar, somebody connected me with another person that played the guitar, and they wanted to start a group in the church. And I was petrified because I didn't want to be out in public doing it. And they encouraged me, and I created, along with, the willingness of the people in my life. But there was 30 little girls and a couple boys that joined my choir. And guess what we called it? The Cherubim Folk Group.
Oh,
sweet.
gosh. I love that.
And that wasn't an accident, I mean, I know that the angels were there with me so many times in so many ways, and I look back on that now and I'm like, why did I name it the cherubim? Because because they're children and they were singing to God in church, and so what other better name was the cherubim? But, I think it was the angels whispering in my ear. Yeah.
No, I used to play guitar in church too.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Isn't it what such a wonderful gift it was for me? It was 8 years until my girls got, so that it was not fun for them anymore, to have their mother be in charge of a music thing, So we moved on, but I continued to play the guitar though at a Bible camp for 20 years, and and my guitar was named Joy.
Oh, I didn't name my guitar.
It's not too late.
But I was a teenager when I did it. I was a teenager.
Yeah.
When I
It's not
played
too
guitar.
late to name your guitar.
It's
No.
not too late.
My
And
poor
I-
guitar is totally
And I
broken.
see that when we have a retreat, we're going to want some of those guitars as we sit around the
Wow.
campfire.
I have a drum I can bring.
Yes.
Christina's got drums and she's got singing bowls.
I got
I haven't
drums, but
played
I
in
got
years.
no game.
Oh, honey, I remember you at Lake Michigan playing your drum. I have a video of it.
Christina
I
will
see.
bring it. I'll
Okay,
bring my drum.
awesome.
I'll sing, but I can't play anymore.
Does this mean I have to learn to play an instrument before?
No.
No,
Better not.
we just need your beautiful
I haven't actually
presence.
played
Please
in a
don't.
long, long time.
You weren't the only one with the littlest angel. Let me tell you, not only my kids, but all of my classes had to listen to the littlest angel. I know you're not supposed to teach religion, but I just had to read them that story, and
It's not religion.
it's
It's not.
not.
No,
It shows the love for the earth and the love for
one
giving
another.
have. And yes, I loved it. I love that story. I may still have the book.
I do too. I have it right over there near my fireplace, my fake
Yeah.
fireplace.
The idea was I was going to read it to my grandchildren, but I never see them. So, and not at
Do it on Zoom.
Do it on Zoom.
You know
record it.
what? My son just texted me and said he wants me to start reading to his little one.
There you go. Perfect.
One. I can do that.
Do it.
I can do that with
You'll be the cool grandma, all Zoom proficient.
I watched this one guy, he's an epidemiologist named Dr. Michael Osterholm. And he's been saying how he has to do without being without his kids, his own kids and his grandkids. And he used to read to them every year, the Polar Express. So now he's doing it.
That's another
this
one.
year.
Yeah.
So I think that is a gift that you must give, Jean, definitely.
Boy, if it hadn't been for this, I wouldn't have thought of it. So thank you.
No. Well,
That's
this
Yeah,
is-
Jean, we got to remember that, love really is just another energy, and that we just have to adapt whatever energy we're going to fly it out on. So for right now, apparently it's got to be electronically.
Yeah, Zoom.
Hey, and you know what? Terry's really good with backgrounds and stuff. She could probably
Yes.
put something there.
Oh my gosh, we could
while
get
you're reading
you
it.
all decorated. Decorate Jean.
No,
But you know,
Glenn.
you have
And
to have a certain kind of computer.
And take some garland that you have and be an angel. Put it on your head. Tell them there's
You
a
can
little
actually put
preparation
a
for them to
halo
get
on
their
it.
garland. Put it around your head.
Jean, how tall are you, really?
That's very cool.
Jean, how tall?
I'm 5 feet tall. I told you.
You're tiny.
You are the
You're the
littlest.
little angel.
Well,
are
I
the
went for it the
littlest
other
angel.
direction, okay? My body
Perfect.
was trying to equalize. So, but, talking here reminded me of something when I was small. A man came to our back door in Missouri.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Where did Terry go?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
She disappeared.
Yeah, she did.
Well, she'll hopefully join us back again here soon.
Okay, but anyway, he came to
Hope
the
she's
back
okay.
door when I lived in St. Louis with my my parents and my grandmother. And my grandmother was really strict, and and I don't even know how he got in the backyard because there's a fence around it, and people never came to the back door. But he came and opened the door and asked my grandmother for something to eat. And my grandmother, like I said, she was not the friendliest person in the world, welcomed him in. And I know he was an angel because I remember now that he just shone. He had like a robe on him, which I know my dad said is probably a trick to get people to, but he just shone. I remember sitting there and just staring at him. And he had longish hair like Jesus, well, the way we picture Jesus. And she fed him. That was the miracle because she really, was a crabby person. But anyway, but I know to this day that that was an angel, and she did feed him. So, you know, but reading this book and us talking about it reminded me of that, you know.
Great.
Little
Jean,
side.
I missed, Jean, I missed your whole story because my internet flaked and knocked me off of Zoom.
About he just came to the back door in Missouri. And like I was telling them, I don't even know how he really got in the backyard because it was fenced. I mean, you could get in, but nobody ever went in from the alley through the backyard, you know. But he showed up at the back door, and he asked my grandmother, he says, "I'm hungry, could you feed me?" And my grandmother, who's really grumpy, she was really grumpy. She welcomed him in and gave him a bowl of soup. And I remember sitting there. I wasn't exactly at his feet that I remember, but he just shone. He was just, he just shone. So I know he was an angel. I must have been about 4 or 5. That's how long ago it was. So, but I remembered it after us talking. Kind of reminded me of John in the book, you know. The old
You know, Kathy, your story kind of sparked a memory with me where I remember as a child, like a stroke on my forehead when I was sick and nobody would be there. And honestly, I think at the time, I didn't know whether it was an angel or a ghost because I was into ghost stories as a kid. You know what I mean? So my mind went there. So but
I
it's
was
got
scared.
me wondering now, you know, if that is what, or even a past loved one, you know what I mean? I don't know if I have ever differentiated them.
I was scared. I remember being scared because I was hearing voices and not seeing where they were coming from. So I was scared, I remember. But I can't, you know, there's a lot of things that I've blocked out in my childhood that have only started resurfacing.
with the knowledge that we've gained so far and the experiences we've had in recollection now, we can pinpoint times when, I mean, I've always said that the angels have always watched over me because I wouldn't be alive today if they hadn't. There were so many incidents, nothing as dramatic as what he went through, but you know, I mean, I wouldn't be. I know I wouldn't be where I grew up in the family situation if they hadn't helped me. But now that we have become more connected with them, I think we're beginning to realize they've been there all along and they've been doing all this for us all along. And we can remember incidents that, you know, when they were there. So
And I don't know how far you're in the book, but just imagine I'm at page 175 right now. So I'm in the third part of the book, but just about the whole second part. I don't know if you guys read it with all his experiences. At the end, basically the angel is saying, so, oh, you finally get it. Imagine Jean, your angel, probably thinking like, oh, she finally gets it. It took her a while, but yay, you know. So I sort of see it like this, laughingly thinking, oh, we finally awaken. And the angels are jubilating, however you say that, you know, they're like, yay, they get it. So there's one thing I would like to share that really stuck out on page 105. It's the story, The Cave. I don't know if you all read it, where he goes with his angel into the cave. And I highlighted, excuse my English. So it says, the light never leaves, it only appears to. When this happens in life, choice. You can freak out, get anxious, get depressed, blame the light, point fingers, struggle, and judge. Or you can trust that the light is still there. if you can know in your heart that the light is still there, all you need to do is stay calm and navigate your way forward until you find the light. I think that would be very profound for any struggle to see it like, oh, it's only like 100 feet away all the time. We just break. I was like, that's cool. So for me, that's comforting. I definitely take that in the future with me.
That's beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love that, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that struck me too.
Yeah.
And that message, the light is always there. It's not that the light stopped being there for us. Sometimes things happen, our life experiences, or something comes about, and we are the ones that have that veil where we're not seeing the light, but they're always there with us.
Or just that you think, or for me, like, I'm always like, can I get a proof? Let me know, let me know. So now I can maybe say, no, the light is there. It's my faith. I just have to believe it's there instead of asking for proof or,
Yeah.
And then that part just kind of naturally flowed into the next part about, not needing to be the center of attention and listening,
And listening.
that you gain a totally different perspective when you're coming from that.
Yeah.
And it's quite ironic that many of us look for things in the light, and yet that message was brought in the complete darkness. It was just, seriously, it goes back to the struggles making us stronger. And I know that there are some times that does not apply. So I don't want anyone to feel at all belittled or anything. I personally don't like to use that in some situations. But with that being said, there is some truth to it in a lot of circumstances. And that really just literally brought it from the point of true darkness, as in visible darkness, and then to the light. It was very appropriate and brought us to the point very quickly on that.
Well, it's
Yeah,
a good
I agree.
analogy. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a good analogy because I think we put ourselves in a cave sometimes. Things keep mounting up, we feel like we're in a dark cave and there's no light and we can't, but I think the angels are telling us the light is only a little ways away, 100 yards away, so 100 feet away. Well, whatever, it's close. So we just have to know that it's there, and then we'll see it, we'll find it. So,
Yeah.
I was telling my grandson, he's 6, make sure mommy or daddy has you looking out at that star. There's a star we're not going to see again for a long time, and it's been 800 years. And he said it might be cloudy, but even if it's cloudy and we don't see the star, it's there. The stars are always there, even if we don't see them. And so is the light, right? Out of the mouths of babes, right? Even if we couldn't see it because it was cloudy or wherever, it was there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, I really had a hard time seeing it. I don't know if anybody.
We have to.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of a joke.
I'm like, I can't see the dark.
It's kind of a joke out here with us with the whole cloud thing, because basically all of winter, we actually have more cloud cover in Western Michigan than Seattle, Washington does.
You do,
You're
really?
kidding.
During the winter, because of the clouds being generated off of Lake
Lake.
Michigan. It's just like always,
Mhm.
we love it when it's actually sunny. We're like, woo! And you hurry up and run out the door as fast as you can because it might go away very quickly.
Right.
But yeah, I love that he said that, because
He
I
very
was kind
intuitive.
of bummed out that I couldn't see it. But then, what I did is I just went online and watched it through space.com or something like that.
Yeah.
That was
And I
watching
took
it for
pictures
me.
all over the world where people were posting. I took
Yeah.
pictures so the next time we talk, I can show him, what you were right. It was there, I don't know
It
if he
was
saw it
there.
or not. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet.
Yeah, it's the same like when we have the full moon. because in some places there's like rain or cloud cover. So we're not able to see the beauty of that moon, but we can see it from other people that share it with us where they're at. So it's
Yeah.
always there. And that's the message. And thank you, Mary Lou, for that message. I love it. And I wanted to go back to Jean's discussion about the cave. Ruth took me to a place called Snowmass here in Colorado. And there was a fairy cave that we went in. And this cave is so amazing. But as you're walking through, you get to one point. And at this point, the guide tells you, look up. So when you look up, you see the opening and you see all the brightness and the light and everything that's outside of the cave. So sometimes when we're in our cave, we're looking with tunnel vision, aren't we? We're looking like, where's that light? You know, I'm not seeing it anywhere around me. And sometimes we have to look up to find that light. It might not be where we expect it to be, like at the end of the cave out there somewhere. It might be up above. So I think that's a good point for us to remember too, that things don't always appear the way we think they're going to appear. When we're in that darkness, it might be, you know, a whole different place than where
Or you
we're
already-
envisioning that it might come.
You might have it within you already. Find a little flashlight in your pocket, you know. It might not be that far.
Yeah. Well, I'm loving this discussion today.
I agree. The next point with Christina as well, that was the next one in the book on page 114 about the listening. That sat with me very well too. And I think I'm a good listener. I love to listen. That's one of my things I can totally relate to. But he pointed on 114, he has some bullet points, what, you know, the listening, and they're right on. I totally agree with what he writes. So I think it's very precious to listen. And again, I also feel like maybe people where I would feel like I have a friction. Maybe, and Terry, you said that the other morning, just try to listen to them. That goes along with that. And then maybe I can let my wall down a little bit and understand better. I really will make an effort to truly listen.
Mhm.
So that is important too, I would say.
I went to confession a couple of years ago, and it was a young priest, and I said to the priest, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could be more quiet. I talk too much, and some of the things that come out are better left inside. And he said, try to remember. And it was hysterical to him, Guy. I found it hysterical that here was this young man telling me something I knew better. I knew. And he's saying to me, remember, like he was talking to me like I was the child, which is okay. You know, we are all children, and, you know, we learn from one another, whether age difference or whatever. But he said, remember, we all have one mouth to speak and two ears to listen. You know, and you know, I mean, how many times have I said that or heard that? You know, but we constantly need reminders from whomever, right? Yeah.
You have my husband chuckling back here. He's like, leave me out of this.
Oh,
Bye,
turn
Bob.
around and wave at him.
Hi,
Hi,
Bobby.
He loves
He's
the
not
one.
paying any attention to us.
We love you, Bob.
Good. He waved.
He's grumpy. He needs his potato chips.
Oh, you're a
And you
good
know, I think-
man.
I think maybe we try to fix too much too with our words. Like when
Remember-
somebody comes to us, it's not that we mean to not listen so much as it's, oh, I want to say the right thing in this moment to actually fix this person or fix the
Mhm.
problem, because out of love, but we have to take that step back and realize that sometimes it is not about fixing, it's just about listening. And so that,
They're right there.
yeah.
I need to stop that.
That's the
I-
hardest thing
I
to
talk
learn.
all the way around the
I'm trying to
subject, but I don't think I'm getting through anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, guys, about the.
For what?
Oh, there's $25 right there.
I
Christine, that's right. Thank you, Christina.
Hey, I'm ready to travel with her. It's going in her
Yeah.
travel fund.
Why did you even say those words?
Well, it's like it was an insurance question, and we're changing our insurance, and so Medicare had asked me 6,000 questions, and at the end found out if I would allow him to act for me, which if he had done that in the first place, I wouldn't have had to answer all the 6,000 questions before we got to that part. But anyway, that's what it was about. So,
Oh, okay. Well, welcome
Well,
back.
then that's fine. All right, I'll take it
Anyway.
back. You don't have to put $25 in for that.
No,
good.
your husband does.
Your
I don't think I
husband
have 25 bucks.
does.
You know what I enjoyed, and you probably have talked some wonderful stuff, and I missed it all. But one of the things, and I know it's a little thing, and I left my book over there. But anyway, this John character that lived in the little mobile home thing on the land, and then they went to the meadow, and then he introduced him to his friends. I don't know why that made me so happy, because I have had so many feeling connections with aliens, feeling their love and sympathy for us. And I don't know why, I just all of a sudden started feeling that. Well, when I was little, I used to have dreams of being taken by the aliens.
Were they dreams?
So it made me feel not so crazy, because I've noticed that sometimes even in the tribe that they don't talk too much about being other galactic creatures, or other galactic beings. And it's like he said, we can't be the only ones, with
Right.
big, huge universe that we have. And so it did make me feel, let me put it this way, a little less crazy that I have those feelings too,
Yeah,
that connection too.
What
absolutely.
I liked in that was the spring, the healing spring.
Oh, yes.
That was so it reminded me of the healing pool. It
Mhm.
was so incredible. That-
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to go there.
We've been gifted with so many healing pools. When you go to think about it, and the water, definitely, there's a definite tie to, maybe not water, but liquid. But when you really start thinking about things like waterfalls, streams, rivers, the ocean, the lakes, our own bodies. I mean, I just, time and time again, I see that healing happening within water kind of a thing. Just an observation.
Yeah, it's a conduit to move energy. And that's why, because we're feeling that current. And it is helping us to clear and cleanse. Yeah,
Yep.
I love water myself. I love Lake Michigan. What you all have there is magical.
It really is.
And did you see
I-
the article recently, Christina, about what they found underneath that's kind of like Stonehenge?
Yes, I did see that.
They're everywhere, all
Yeah.
over the world.
They
I have to
really
show
are
you
everywhere.
This is
Oh.
water this is from Lourdes water.
Oh,
Really?
So this is special, yeah. I got it when I was in Germany. Somebody went to Lourdes, gave it to me when I visited, and I brought it back here. So, yay, water.
Yay, water. And I still
have-
have the holy water
Suzanne,
that you
I have
gave me.
some of that too. I went there. I have some.
You,
It was fascinating.
Jean, you have
And-
some
and-
too?
No, this is my Padre Pio.
oh, you got,
Oh,
You got the
wow.
Padre Pio
just got that
oil.
in too.
I went into the bath waters at Lourdes.
oh, wow.
I was with a touring group, and it's a kind of a funny story and a beautiful story at the same time. But I was a very churched person in my life. And so, people from church helped and contributed when I went. They gave money to me and they wrote prayers on their papers and everything. So I loved that because I grow up in this big family and I'm in the middle. So community is everything to me, there was only 5 in the group of 30 that wanted to go to the bath waters. And we had to wait in line for 3 hours, and they had lines kind of like Disneyland. The lines were like Disneyland because there was so many people that from all over the world, all languages. And we sang the Ave Maria song, Ave, Ave Maria, over and over while we were in line. And that was my moment of spiritualness, I think, because I felt so connected with the whole world, in that need to worship God and ask intercession and all the beauty that comes along with prayer. And so then it came time for us to go in, and they brought you to an individual changing room and said, take off. They didn't speak English, but they motioned, take off your clothes. So I took off my clothes, and she had a robe, and I took everything off but my underwear. And she, no, everything. And I'm like, everything? Okay. So I did. And then they walked you into this room where there was like a sauna type tub. It was narrow, maybe, 4 or 5 feet wide and long. And she said, you see the statue of Mary? She said, walk over to it and touch it, and you will be blessed by the healing waters. Well, she didn't tell. So and the robe was on backwards. All of a sudden the robe was off of me. And I felt her hand on my back, and I went into the water. She forgot to tell me it was ice cold mountain water.
Oh my God.
And I'm walking through and I'm saying, Hail Mary, full of grace. Oh no, this is not happening. It was so ice cold, I couldn't do it. I said, sorry, Mary, sorry.
The new version of Hail Mary.
But you know what? I was in an age where I was, excuse me to all the Zoom people. I don't know if this is even appropriate.
I love it.
But I was menopause, and I never had my period ever again. And I think that was my gift.
What a great
That's
gift.
right. Praise the Lord.
I did not go back and tell the ladies at church that.
Good for
I
you.
told them we're part of this. But yeah, that was my experience. and the other 4 that I know, one of them was very angry. She had cancer and was going in there, for a true physical healing. And she was angry. She said, that's not right. They should tell us what was going to happen before we did this. And it wasn't a holy experience. She was using vulgar words. And another one was hysterically crying and saying, wasn't it so beautiful? Wasn't it so beautiful? And I was like laughing. I thought it was the funniest experience. So it just shows
Probably taking it the best.
it's kind of like being birthed, right? We're all in this
Right.
water in our mother's
Yeah.
womb, and everybody has a different experience in the birthing process,
Right.
and so we have to take from it what we can,
Right.
but mine was, it's not unusual for me to laugh at things. That's who I am,
Right.
kind
That's
of,
beautiful.
That's how I
Yeah.
cope, and that's how I experience things in life, but yeah, that was, and the other woman, I forgot to say, she said, I had a miracle. And I don't doubt this, but she said she didn't have to dry herself, that her whole body was dry, that, when she was putting her clothes back on, she didn't have to dry herself. I don't know what ever happened with the angry woman. I still feel bad for her.
All I can say
On
is,
her own path.
Christina, thank you for bringing Mary Lou.
I am so glad
Oh,
she
yes.
came too.
I absolutely love her.
Isn't she
We
great?
all do.
I love
I'm
you,
telling
Mary
you
Lou.
what,
Thank
I
you
had the best family to grow up in, and I spent
Me too.
many overnights with my cousins over at her house. So I was very, very lucky.
He's
Very
wonderful.
blessed too.
We have lots of laughter in our family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
we're lucky like that.
Yes,
That's awesome.
absolutely. Laughter
we should
raises
And,
play-
and Tina hasn't changed. When she was getting married many years ago from the Pittsfield branch of our family, I remember her coming to my house, and you know what she had us do? And I never did it before. She had all of us sit one in front of the other on my living room floor, and she had us all put our hands on each other's shoulders to give each other peace and relaxation, and to have the human touch. That you haven't changed one bit, Tina.
Love that.
You're still doing
That
that.
was a long time ago.
It was such a long time ago,
That's
but
beautiful though.
I never forgot
It is
that. It was
beautiful.
so caring, you know, and I don't know how it came about. You just said, I've got something we can all do, and we did it. Do you remember doing that?
I do. Yes.
It's
I
great.
want to
I have a
suggest.
version of laying on the hands or something.
I want to suggest we put Lourdes on our basket list for the future. We got to go back, Mary Lou.
Oh, it wasn't. And you know, the beauty of it was that it was no special day of the year or anything. You know how they have feast days where they celebrate particular things. It was just another day. And there were thousands and thousands of people there, all, you know, with their belief, you know, all looking to come closer to God. And the most beautiful part was the candle procession. They waited until the evening, and here's all these candles in the darkness. We're talking a little bit about light today. You know, and there was candles in the darkness, you know, and it was just a symbol of hope and belief, and it was beautiful, just beautiful.
That sure sounds a heck of a lot better than that ice water. I'm in
Oh,
for
yeah.
the candle procession. That
Yeah,
sounds more like
we'll do
me.
that one.
Hey,
No
we
ice
don't need
water.
we don't need candles. Imagine us marching in with our faith. We're gonna light up.
That's right, we're
Right.
shut up.
You're so right, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're forewarned if we ever go take a bath,
Right?
the baths or anything.
Yeah.
Don't
If
know
you're
what
gonna,
to
if you're gonna go
expect.
see the Virgin Mary, be prepared to be cold.
It was
Right.
cold.
Apparently.
About
Think
15
she
minutes
is
up.
chuckling? You think the Blessed Mother chuckles when she
Oh, I
sees
think she
that?
was
All the
laughing.
time.
Absolutely,
She
yeah.
does it.
She's
She
such a
really rolls her
loving
eyes at
mother.
me.
I mean, don't all loving mothers have to have some kind of sense of
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. There's a place 15 minutes up the road from me called Our Lady of Grotto. It's Our Lady of Lourdes it's like a little the grotto is set up to honor that there. And a lot of people make the trek up to Emmitsburg, Maryland to see it.
Beautiful. We'll have
In
to
case
come see
anybody
you
is
back
ever
when you
here
can tour
with me.
guide us. Oh,
We're
You know,
all
and
ladies,
hungry.
I'm so drawn to places like that. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be, it doesn't matter like whether it's a Catholic or you know, it's just these spiritual sites that exist all over our planet. I'm
Yeah.
just fascinated by those places, you know.
And if you guys want to like take a bath, right across the street, I have a wonderful pond.
Okay.
is it cold, Kathy?
Oh
It's
yeah,
probably
I
frozen
think
right
it's
it's
now.
got
You're
ice on it
in
right
a-
now.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
you
It
could
probably
get-
does.
You could get Charlie's statue of Father Pio and put it
Yeah.
Put it right
put
in the
it at
middle.
the end of the
Yeah.
pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be an encouragement for people.
Oh, you all,
It's
You all
just
are
that
so much
yearning
fun.
within all of us, you know, to know that there's something more out, you know, in this universe that can bring us all together, you know, that is guiding us to that moment in time when we will all be one again. You know, I think that's really
in
what
our
it's all about.
DNA. I believe that's in our
Yeah,
DNA.
it has to be, right? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's just incredible. It took this pandemic for me, this is the most social I ever was, with strange people I met off the internet, to found such a loving
Strange.
family, and we all love each other. And this is the best time I ever had. So thank
Oh,
you.
Me too.
You're so welcome, Susanna.
Strange.
I'm so glad you found us. And I'm so glad we found you.
Yeah.
Well, Terry, you were persistently on my news feed. I don't know. You just kept scrolling and scrolling. And one day I was like, let me check her out. Who is this? Because I had nothing to do with EWN. I don't know how you showed up every day. So it was, divine.
It was
So
meant to
thank
be.
you,
It was
Terry.
the angels. Well, I have to end this party today, unfortunately,
Oh,
ladies.
already?
But fortunately, though,
He's got
at
to come.
EWN, we are live streaming 24 hours a day right now. So you can go on at any moment on EWN for 12 days, and you're going to find something there that's uplifting. It may be a meditation. It may be a discussion like this. It could be just a teaching, or I think we're doing the crystalline grid. Someone had asked about that this morning, and the 7th generation clearing. There's many programs that are being played over the next 12 days. And there's a guide that's put up every day, so you can see what shows are going to be shown throughout the day and the timing of that. But we do have to get off of here because there's another one coming on at 1 o'clock. So we want to make sure that everybody is able to start at 2 o'clock. Thank you. I'm all screwed up with time. So anyway, we're here every week at this time for the Soul Food Book Club. Next week is our last week to talk about Walking with My Angels. Come on, ladies, where's the books? Walking with My Angels. And Keith Leon S. will join us again next week. Jean, do you feel left out?
Yes, I have my book out there.
So next week, he will come on with us for finishing up this book. And then we are going to begin the Course in Miracles experiment by Pam Grout. And I am so looking forward to us working through these exercises together and being able to really get into the energy of the Course in Miracles. Thank you, Mary Lou. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am so loving this book. I love her sense of humor. And I think, Isabel is on with us virtually. Isabel says, I have been missing out a lot. I see you have lots of fun. This is not your mama's book club. This is a totally different book club, and we do have fun. And so come join us, anybody that wants to jump in here, because we like to have fun. We like to laugh. We like to raise the vibration, and we try to choose books that help us to find humor in every experience of life. And certainly these angels are very humorous as they take us through this process of living and guide us and help us to just get closer to them so we can navigate the waters. Thank you all for being here with us today. I love you so much. You're such a blessing in my life. And I'll see you again next week. And Merry Christmas. Thank you, Mary Lou. Merry Christmas to everyone. So many
See you
blessings.
from the kitchen.
From Kathy's kitchen.
Next week.
Kathy.
Next week, they'll show us how to make brie with hot pepper jelly.
Here next week.
All right, Julia.
I love it.
So we're going to say goodbye for now. Have a blessed holiday coming up, and we'll see you next week, just before the end of the year and going into that new year. Many blessings to all of you. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Merry